Welcome back to Dummy Boy Finance. I'm Dummy Boy and we're going to get straight into our explosive penny stock watch list. So the first stock we're looking at here is Humbl on the daily time frame. But before we get into the charts, I want to go over this short report that brought Humbl's price down yesterday from Hindenburg Research. And so one thing I want to mention, I read through this report and you could just see that these guys have been going out of their way and they are attacking anybody and everybody who they can. And so one thing that I have learned about any sort of short reports is they come at a point in time where the stock price has started to go crazy. They come in with the report to try to drag it down. And so this is kind of a way that stocks tend to stay level, because you can't just have a stock going up and you can't just have good news going up. And so these reports come out at very timely points on a stock's trajectory. They yank them down, and that is usually how the market manipulation starts. We need a catalyst. Usually starts with a short report. Once that short report hits, then we start to see all kinds of news start hitting. We see bears start popping out of nowhere, and slowly but surely we see the price start to get dragged down, but eventually it does rise. These short reports are just those temporary schemes and catalysts to try to bring the price back down to earth. And so that is kind of how I feel with Humbl. This is a startup company that has told us that they're starting to make revenue, but they have showed us zero revenue. And so people asking me why the price is dropping so much, because when we were trading up here, we were around a $3 billion market cap for a company that has shown zero revenue. And so we did expect to see a cool off, and we are well down from our highs right now. And so I added this Fibonacci retracement level just to show you guys where you would be getting this stock right now. So ideally, in a situation, if you can get a stock here in this green range, you are getting it at a pretty good deal. And you can see we treated this area as support a couple times before our price action fell off a cliff. If you can get this in the gray area, you are getting the stock at a steal, and chances are you are going to make a lot of money on your investment. And so essentially how I use this retracement is pretty simple. Anytime the price action is in the red, I'll never buy a stock. If it's in this green, I probably still won't buy it. And even at this point, I still would not buy it. I try to find stocks where I can get the price action in this gray area or even this blue area. I think anytime on a fib retracement, meaning from the bottom of our run to the absolute top of our run, if you can get the price action in the blue and in the gray, you are getting the stock at a very nice price. And so where we are right now, we are in this gray, and a stock can't just keep going down. And so we've seen the stock go down for a while. We may see a consolidation phase, which I would call an accumulation phase, where if now you just continue to buy at these levels for as long as Humbl trades in this range, this is going to be a solid investment. And so I ask you this, if you are a Humbl investor. Right now we are having a soft launch of our NFT gallery today, and so I want to ask you guys if you believe a year from now this company is going to have moved forward or if they have moved backwards. And so if you think that this company is going to continue to move forward, then there is no reason you should not be buying at these prices. However, if you think that Humbl is going to regress or they are not going to accomplish anything in a year, then maybe you should not be buying this stock. But if you believe in the innovation, if you believe in the growth, if you believe in the management, if you believe in the product, then this is a very nice buying opportunity for Humbl, and I will just say that much. Again, you're getting it in the gray, and we could just see how nicely that the price action has followed this Fibonacci. We got rejected on our first run here. We treated this blue as support. We saw a lot of price action in this middle range, short-lived price action in our red range, and now here we are in this gray area, which is our accumulation zone. So if you are scared to be buying Humbl right now, that is a you problem. But if you do believe that this company is going to continue to grow, that everything right now is leading to buy signals on this stock. And so we're getting at very attractive prices on a company with a market cap now around 700 million. And so no, I'm not out of Humbl at all. If anything, I am trying to load up on this stock while it's in this zone. And so I expect other people who have that same sort of vision as me to do the same. And so I know I haven't made an update video on this because I know people don't want to keep talking about a stock that continues to go down, but I am here to let you guys know that I'm still with y'all. this is an area you should be accumulating this stock if you believe in the future. And so overall today we were up 9%. Stocks don't just go up or down, they go both. And right now we've been in a downtrend for a while. Expect to see some upward momentum soon here on Humbl. Next stock of the day, we're looking at IGEN on the 30-minute time frame. So IGEN was down 1% today, and we have just been trading sideways on this stock since April 22nd. You can see we have been in this triangle, and I expect us to continue to trade in this triangle till about May 28th. And so you can see we closed right below our level of support. So that was a pretty tough close, and I'd love to see how the price action recovers here next week. Overall, this is a stock that you have to be patient with. Don't expect it just to run up all at once because the volume is not there yet. But I do think this is a very strong accumulation zone. If we break this pattern to the upside, then I do think we are on a strong uptrend. You can see this could have been the bottom, this setting our higher low, and then if we break out here and we hold this level at around 11 cents, that could be our next level up. And so overall, we look at our accumulation, it's still rising, people are still buying, we're not really selling, yet the price action has been going down and has been flat. So I love this stock. You guys know this is my biggest holding. I'll continue to load up where I can. And so overall, IGEN was down today, but we are in a very strong accumulation zone right now. Next stock of the day, we're looking at Social Life Network. So WDLF up 0.92% today. And so overall right now, there is no real sense of direction with this stock. We are still on a downtrend. You can see that we are trying to find some sort of support here. I do think it will come on this uptrend line, but we would really need to hold this level of support if we want any sort of hopes for some good price action moving forward. If we break down from this point, I do expect to see further bleeding. I do think the price action will go a lot lower, and then at that point, that would be a good buying opportunity for those people who have not got into the stock. However, for people who are in the stock like myself, I would love to see this get stopped out right here on this level of support, continue our next leg up, and then we just keep on chugging along. Even though the price action has been tough to watch the last little while, honestly, in the grand scheme of this chart, it doesn't look bad at all. We do expect it to follow this uptrend. The price is just cooling off and we are catching up to our uptrend. And so at this point, if we can get a bounce up and we can make another move to the upside, that would be absolutely nuts. But until then, we are just going to wait and watch and see if we can find support here on WDLF. Next stock of the day, we're looking at SEGI on the daily time frame. So SEGI has continued steady accumulation, but we are now below our triangle. We did get rejected by this point, and so next week we will see where this one wants to go, because we did get this bullish crossover. However, we did have a tough day today to close out the week. So if we get our momentum back up, our MACD will continue to chug along and we could start to see a positive MACD. However, if we get consecutive red days, this could go down further. We would get a negative crossover of our MACD, and that does not look good. Next stock of the day, we're looking at MJNA on the daily time frame. And so I did a little bit more research here on MJNA today, and I don't like the fact that I have restrictions on buying the stock. It won't let me buy it in my cash account. I was not able to buy it in my TFSA, and so overall I can't get my hands on MJNA right now. And so if I'm having that problem, I expect other people to have that problem as well. And so the biggest thing that's scaring me right now about MJNA is this accumulation over distribution. So you can see a lot more distribution than accumulation. So people are selling right now, and MJNA still seems to be holding up pretty nicely. So I do think because of this distribution, MJNA will just continue to bleed. And so it is a play if it breaks this level of resistance, because that would break a multi-year long downtrend. But until then, it just does not look good right now in MJNA. Next stock of the day, we're looking at ALYI. So ALYI, we are starting to have price action below this level. And so now that we are here, we need to come up with another game plan. And it does look like we have another pattern brewing right here. And so if we look at this right now, ALYI has been on this uptrend. And so we are actually getting to a point where we are bottoming right here. You can see our MACD has crossed over. And so this right here on May 19th could have been that short-term bottom that people were looking for on ALYI, but we'll see where this one wants to go. It does look clear that we are still on an uptrend. However, this was our best case scenario, so I'm going to take that part out right now because here's where we are. And so overall, the price action still doesn't look too bad. Once we break past this level is when it's all hell's going to break loose on ALYI, but until then, you can see accumulation is still quite strong here overall, and so I do expect this to put in a bottom very soon. Next stock of the day, we're looking at RDGL on the daily time frame. So you guys know we were waiting for RDGL to break this to the upside, but you can see right now that we haven't. We are breaking it to the downside. You can see the volume picked up today, and so that was a very tough thing to see. We were getting close to a crossover, however we did break down. But the one thing I do want to mention is we are starting to see divergence on our chart. Our accumulation over distribution is going up, meaning people are buying. However, price is going down. And so anytime you get this sort of divergence, could be a very nice buying opportunity. And so if I'm looking at the price right now for RDGL, I do think at these levels, this is going to be very attractive for a lot of people. And I do think that's why we are starting to see a lot more accumulation here today on RDGL. Next stock of the day, we're looking at HYSR on the daily. You guys know I don't like this stock. This is not a stock that I want to be owning right now. Our accumulation over distribution looks horrifying. It is absolutely bearish right here. A lot more distribution than accumulation. We have now broken our uptrend line to the downside. And so with a company with no product, no real story right now, there is no reason to be in HYSR. Let the stock just bleed out until it finds a bottom. Next stock of the day, we're looking at ACDC on the daily time frame. So ACDC down 2% today, and it is starting to look quite attractive at this valuation. If we look at our accumulation over distribution, we actually have pretty picturesque movement. We have a run up where people end up taking some profits, it consolidates for a while, then we have our next run up, same thing, people take some profits, we are consolidating, and right now that's exactly what's kind of happening. We did break our uptrend to the downside, and our accumulation has slightly fallen off, but in the grand scheme of things, we are at a pretty fair valuation right now for ACDC. And so at these levels, I don't think ACDC is a bad buy. It could go lower, but at these prices, I do think ACDC has a lot more upside than downside. Next stock of the day, we're looking at STAF on the daily time frame. So STAF is starting to make a comeback. I just want to go again over the accumulation over distribution. From this point on, we were trading at around 70 cents, and you can see this is where our accumulation was. It is way higher than it is now, and our price action is way lower. So I love to see this type of divergence on a chart, which is why I do think STAF is a solid options play where you should start to see some more upside than downside, especially at these prices. You can see that our downtrend right here has officially been broken. We finally got past that line that we needed to get to. And now here we are trying to break this 60 cents level of resistance. Next stock of the day, we're looking at SNDL. So SNDL, again, if we look at our accumulation over distribution, everything here looks quite organic. You can see we're on a downtrend here, we're also on a downtrend here, and we're also on a downtrend here. So this is actually quite picturesque right now. This is telling me that don't buy SNDL right now. We haven't seen any sort of divergence. We actually have no sort of bottom right now. The volume is starting to stable out right now, and you could see potential bottoming right now on SNDL. However, it's too early to say that right now. We did get a nice bounce off our MACD here, but you can see our accumulation still went down a little bit. So overall, SNDL is still a wait and watch type of play until we start to see some real good news. Overall though, down 2.39% today, and it continues to just bleed down. There you guys have it. That was our quick little update on our explosive penny stock watch list. If you guys enjoyed this video, don't forget to like. We are on the road to 10K subs, so if you made it to this point, feel free to hit that subscription button. This is Dummy Boy Finance. I'm Dummy Boy, and I'll see you guys in the next one.